Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Honda VFR 800 bike build, where we are building this one-of-a-kind V4 engine machine and giving it away to one of you guys who support the build series over on Patreon. If you guys were here for the last video, you recall that we put in new headlights, smoked blinker covers here, but the headlight bulbs we were putting in, we had a problem with the connectivity on that, but let me show you what I discovered. These are the BOSLLA RGB Pro Lights, and what they do is you can choose two modes. You can have standard light mode, which is super bright, or you can change to the RGB mode, which changes to different colors. And obviously you probably only want to do that while you're parked for show, not so much while you're riding, but it's kind of a cool little feature. And really nice units. These are the H7 models. And what I was finding is that this plug right here was not the same width as the bulbs that came out. You can see the difference there. It's about this is about 3/16 of an inch wider. Well, last night I was playing around with these bulbs. I don't even know how it happened, but all of a sudden, pop, that came apart. I was like, what? This is an adapter that took it from the size of the bulbs I just got to the wider prongs here. So I'm like, fantastic. I was already, by the way, BOSLLA sponsored me these lights. Thank you. They're around $170 for a pair. So anyways, we have this adapter now that we can plug the new light bulbs into. And now we have the proper setup. Voila. Now, let me show you a little problem I'm trying to deal with. Other than that, this piece here was attached to the stock bulb like that. So see that width right there? When you insert this into the front fairing, this is what the spring clip would clamp onto to keep the bulbs tight in the fairing. Well, with this piece now being no longer on the bulb and being way back here at the connector, we now just have this skinny flange. We need something wider to hold these in tight inside the fairing, but we'll tackle that later. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of the stock bulbs on one side, the new BOSLLA RGB Pro on the other side, and we're going to test the difference in brightness, and we are going to also put it through the RGB mode so you guys can see how it goes through the color changes, how you switch it from normal mode to color mode and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get this all assembled with the lights in it, get the fairing on here, and then we'll check it out. Okay guys, before I install these lights, I wanted to show you how to go between the color changing mode and the standard light mode. To go from color mode to standard mode and back, you just simply turn the brights on and off. So right now they're in the color changing mode. We'll see how it's changing colors automatically. But you can also see that they're not very bright, so you wouldn't want this while you're going down the road to be activated, just when you're parked. You can hear those fans too, I'm sure. Turn the brights off and turn them back on, and you'll see things are going to get super bright. There you go. Now that's standard light mode there. Yeah, so that's how it's done. So as I'm installing things, I'm starting to find little issues with these aftermarket lighting fixtures. What I was having trouble with is, this is the new one here, this is the stock one here. You can see the variances in the holes here, and I couldn't get the bulb to go in and turn like it should. And you can see here, this is the new one. It's just kind of chewed up, and I don't know, maybe that happened from me trying to install it, but I couldn't get the light socket to go in this and turn and lock down. So what I did was I just popped off the lens off this body, and I put the new lens on the stock body here, so everything is nice and sano. So I'll do that to both, and we're good to go. All right, so let me show you what I mean about the mounting flange for this being so much skinnier because it no longer has the adapter on it. That's what we got now. So that's not gonna fly. I mean, it'll do for today's test, but I'm gonna have to make a spacer of some kind to take up that slack so that's in there tight. Can't have that thing bouncing around. All right guys, so here's the standard beams. I did notice that this bulb naturally seemed a little bit brighter than this one, but we're mostly worried about the high beams which are above these lights. So let me show you the color mode in these. So to switch to color mode, just turn them off, turn them back on. You can see how it's changing colors, but it's not very bright. It's more of an accent light. Oh wow, yeah, you can kind of see it. It looks a lot better in real life than what we're seeing here. Let me see if I can change the lighting here. There, now you can kind of see it better. That's pretty cool, man. But if you're going down the street and it's doing that, blue or red in California, cops will be all over you. But if you're parked somewhere for a bike show and you want to kind of look cool, that's pretty cool. Now let's see the brightness difference between the new high beam on the left side versus the old stock high beam on the right side. This is the RGB Pro over here. Let's take it out of the color mode. So it's really hard to tell looking against the back wall. Let's see if we can take a look at the lights inward and see if we can see a difference. Okay, so this is looking at the bike from the head on. Now I can tell you, looking with my eyes, the beams on the right hand side are really like a brownish color, and over here is like a super rich white. The RGB Pro is way brighter than the other one. Here we are looking at the front from an angle, and you can see the one on the right is a little bit browner. Actually, with the naked eye, it's quite a bit browner than this one over here. Just really having a lot of trouble. Look at the brightness difference there. Really having trouble getting the camera to pick it up, but it's pretty severe. Okay, here's how the lights and the fairing look on the bike. You can see down here the smoke lens looks way better than what we had before. These are nice and shiny and new. Let me show you the lenses here, how they look when they're on. You can see they're still orange, but they're only orange when the light's on. And they're even like a deeper orange, you know, it's kind of like this dark burnt orange. It looks really cool. So super happy about that. All right, guys, that about does it for this episode. Taking the lights as far as I can for now. I need to fine tune some things, get things fitting a little better, get things fitting tighter. And but I'm really happy I figured out that whole situation with getting things to connect properly. I'm trying to work out what I'm going to do with the mirrors. Normally it has like your traditional mirrors that come off here. Do I want to do something that's coming off the handlebar? I kind of want to keep this clean up here. Welcome to hear your guys' suggestions. Looking for any new concepts, something that's cool and different. And once this is locked down, these side fairings will bolt right on, so that's nice. And then we'll tackle the subframe and get this thing wrapped up and on the road. Also, guys, don't forget, if you want to save a bunch of money on helmets, jackets, riding shoes, tires, stuff like that, I've got an arrangement with JP Cycles to bring you guys a bunch of steep discounts. So go check out the links in this video description. Shoot, save yourself 40% to 60%, something like that. So anyways, go check out those links, get yourself some smoking deals over at jpcycles.com. So thank you guys for hanging out, and if you want to qualify to win the bike, go over to the Patreon right here. For as little as $1 every new video I post, you'll qualify to win. You can spend $5, $10 per episode, and that way you get more entries to possibly win. Go check it out. See you guys in the next episode.